But we've got to talk about what's up with Greg's cup. So what you got in there?
Well, actually, nothing's in the cup. But what's up with the cup? It is KERA. We are featuring nonprofits, of course, leading up to North Texas Giving Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So you can give to your favorite nonprofit. And a lot of them, all of them, in fact, having to adjust during this time, just like KERA. And what they're doing, they've expanded their services to families to include a free at-home learning initiative for students and educators. So that is what is up with the cup, KERA television there. You can see on the website, you can go there and give to your favorite charity for North Texas Giving Tuesday tomorrow.